complex number in ordinary level. Let's have a look. So this is question 2, part B. V is equal 15 divided by 1 plus 2i. So they are saying write that V, that number, in the form. So in this form, not as a fraction, but as a number like that. How do we do it? So when at the bottom of the fraction, I have complex number. So the way we are solving that is that we have to multiply the top of the fraction and the bottom of the fraction by the conjugate of that number here. Fancy word. Basically what that means, you take that number, this value, the real value doesn't change. However, this value here, the second, changes the sign to the opposite. So it will be minus 2i, minus 2i. And we are multiplying those values together. Now here, 15 multiplied by 1, 15 multiplied by 2i. At the bottom, what we can use, because that's very often comes up, this is when I am multiplying one bracket by the other bracket, and the elements, what's inside those brackets is exactly the same, just we have plus and minus, or minus and plus, doesn't matter the order. And what does that equal to? It will equal to the first number to the power of 2 minus the second number to the power of 2. Okay, so let's do that multiplication. So on top of the fraction, 15 multiplied by 1, that is 15. 15 multiplied by minus 2, we put that in the calculator and we get is 30. And let's not forget about I. Then again, at the bottom, first number, my first number is 1. So 1 to the power of 2 is 1 minus, and now the second number, 2i to the power of 2. So that means 2 to the power of 2, that is 4, and I to the power of 2. Now we didn't forget that in the beginning of the question, they reminded us that when you see I to the power of 2, change that to minus 1. So let's do that change. So on top of the fraction, I have 15 minus 30. And at the bottom of the fraction, I have minus 4 multiplied by minus 1. Now, all of those are numbers, so I can put all of that in my calculator. So therefore, I have 15 minus 30i. And when I put all of that in my calculator, I'm going to get 5. Yeah? Now, we're not finished. We have to write that as a separate values. When you have a fraction, the bottom here, the denominator, is the same for 15 and it is the same for 30. So that means I can divide that by 15 over 5 minus 30 over 5, and then I can write I beside it. Okay, now when we have a fraction, what do? We put it in the calculator to make sure maybe it simplifies further. And in this case, it does. If we put 15 divided by 5, we're going to get 3 minus. And then when we put 30 divided by 5 in our calculator, we're going to get 6. So 3 minus 6i is our complex number. Again, that is very typical of your exam and comes up almost every year.